This is a visual representation of how the new Drake and Party Next Door album made me feel. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, and I'm not exaggerating either. This was one of the toughest listens I've ever had to get through in my entire life. And there's one reason why. Every song sounds the same. On this album, there are about damn near 21 songs. 21 songs of Party Next Door being hella horny and Drake being in his feels, and it all sounds the same. It's the same beat. It's the same lifeless, monotone, background type of music, vocals from Drake, where he just has no passion or emotion behind what he's saying and how he's saying it. It's the same everything. It's the same song, except at that one point when Drake decided to be Hispanic, and that was cancer to the ears. I just never need to hear that again, me personally. I mean, this man's collecting languages and accents like it's Pokemon, because first, it was Jamaican Drake on Views. Then, we had Drake starting to get a little bit British. He was loving Central C. Now, he's trying to speak Spanish. And I get it. I get that's why some people love Drake, because he's a chameleon, and he could do all these different things. Be yourself, dog. Just simply be yourself. Be who you are. Be the good Canadian boy that you are, bro. You know what? Let me get my compliments out of the way first for this album. Give Me a Hug. Kind of a banger. It's a banger. I won't lie. That's a great track because Drake is actually half alive on that song and contributing to the overall production that is actually a little bit different from the rest of the album. That's it. That's the only good thing on this entire album. That's the only positive takeaway. Besides that, this is the most sleepy, boring project. I mean, I actually felt like falling asleep. I actually felt like falling asleep. And that's not just because it's R&B. I love R&B music. Daniel Caesar is one of my most listened to artists. Frank Ocean, one of my favorite artists. They can make good, compelling, interesting R&B tracks. Drake with this album, he lost it. I don't know what was going on with this one. I just don't understand how this was the same person that made Jungle, that made Feel No Ways, that made these actually interesting, catchy songs. I don't know what happened to that person, and I feel like this is happening with so many amazing artists from the past. Like, first Kanye, he's just completely out of this world now and not the same person. He's making trash music. Now we got Drake. I mean, he came back a little bit for the beef, but now he's just going back to making trash music. Fat D was horrible. CLB was nowhere near his past projects. I'm just over it. Drake isn't the same anymore. He's falling off, and it's so annoying because it feels like all the amazing rappers that I used to love for years and years are now just... You know what, let's talk about Party Next Door for a little bit too. Why did he just dip for like 3 songs at a time? He'd be there, he'd be involved, and then he'd say, all right, Drake, this is becoming a solo album for you now. And he just wouldn't be there for like 3 tracks. Then he'd come back, then he'd leave again. It all comes down to, this did not need to be a collab album. This was P&D and Drake collabed for the sake of creating a P&D and Drake collab album. There wasn't any purpose to this collab. If you look at something like, say, A Kid See Ghosts, or even a Her Loss, which was by Drake, the 2 artists who collabed on those projects collabed for a reason. Drake made 21 Savage better on Her Loss because he allowed 21 Savage to get more into that softer side of himself and talk about some more softer projects. On the opposite side, 21 Savage allowed Drake to get a little bit more hard, a little bit more aggressive with his songs without it seeming corny. It all matched and flowed and worked together. Same sort of thing on like A Kid See Ghost. You know, Kid Cudi and Kanye just had amazing chemistry, complemented each other so well, allowed each other to really just get vulnerable with the tracks. This, P&D did nothing for Drake, and Drake did nothing for P&D. This album did not need to exist. It served no purpose, had no value, and you could tell by just the throw-in performances that Drake and P&D had on this project. It didn't even seem like they cared for their own album. You could have guessed what this project would have sounded like before even listening to a single rhythm on the project. And you got people like Kai Cenat rating this shit an 8 out of 10, but I'm not even mad at that because it's an opinion, and that's what makes music so beautiful and amazing, is that I can sit here and hate a project and rant about it for, what are we at, 5 minutes straight, where another person like Kai can rate it an 8 out of 10 and just be absolutely vibing to it and dancing to it. And so I'm not like mad at that. I'm perplexed how he thinks it's an 8 out of 10, but hey, go crazy. But what does kind of annoy me, and it shouldn't, it's stupid that it does, but I can't help it, are the absolute glazers, just glizzy gobblers who choke on Drake's meat for a living, like Los Polos. Bro, he was saying, and other people just surfing through Twitter were saying, oh, this is better than anything Kendrick has ever made. Oh, this is so much better than GNX. Oh, dog, GNX is like light years ahead of this project, and it doesn't even matter, man. Who cares about the beef? This is not about the beef. This is about Drake not being the same artist for the past like 5 years and having no value in the entire rap genre. Like, I don't know what he's doing at this point. It bothers me so much because I like Drake. I'm a fan. I like his music, but lately it just hasn't been up to the par of what Drake should be. But still you got these glizzy gobblers who are just eating up everything he ever posts. It's annoying. It's annoying me. It makes me mad a little bit. Not too mad, though. Drake, just do better, please. Oh, he's not going to watch this. I don't know why I'm, like, addressing him. Yeah, just go back to making amazing projects like Take Care, or, like, if you're reading this, It's Too Late, or even More Life. Like, I loved More Life. More Life was a fun project. He hasn't made something like that in forever. I'm going to rate this project what's a word I could use? A severe 2 out of 10.